Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy, and today I want to talk about Nickelodeon All Star Brawl. I am very late to this game, and quite frankly, probably for the best that I waited. So I happened to pick this game up recently when it was on sale for about £11 on the Switch, which I was like, yeah, sorry, it's only like basically 10 quid. I'll pick it up and buy it and give it a whirl. Now, just for some context, you guys probably already know I'm a massive fan of Smash Brothers. I love Smash Brothers. I'm super biased towards that. That is the best, my favorite fighting game. I probably in this video use the term platform fighter. I hate that term, but it basically explains a lot of these games that are similar to Smash. Anyway, massive fan of Smash, and recently I have played Multiverses, which I did a video on, and now I have played Nickelodeon All Star Brawl. Now, when this game got revealed, it was actually pretty cool. Like, I don't know some of the characters in the game, but you know, they had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They have they eventually added Garfield in. They have Cat Dog. They have Ren and Stimpy. They got Oblina from Our Grill Monsters. Helga from Hey Arnold. So there was stuff that I knew that was in there. So it was kind of interesting seeing this. Obviously SpongeBob and some of the other characters. But as I was watching, you know, up to the launch of the game, those videos that they had where it was still work in progress and they were showing off moves and stuff, I really got the feeling this game was like super low budget. And to be fair, like it's got a low budgetness to it, but also to be fair to Game Mill and the guys that worked on this, like I think the game actually plays way better than anything I'd ever seen. So between the game coming out and me actually playing it, like I had this feeling it was going to play very like light. So the characters were going to be not that responsive. A lot of the moves weren't going to have much heft to them. It was going to feel like, you know, slapping each other with a bit of paper, very like wet bit of paper. That's what I thought it was going to feel like. And Smash in those games has a lot of weight between a lot of the moves. Obviously there's a lot of money put into that game, so it's an unfair comparison. But in Smash, when you hit someone with a move, if it's a smash attack and the high percentage, there's obviously a lot of screen shake, there's a lot of visuals to indicate the character's going flying. Even a jab combo, it feels like the animations and what's happening on screen makes it feel like there's weight behind the attacks. Now, this game in All-Star Brawl, you have a different sort of way the moves work. You have your heavy moves, your light moves, and your specials all on separate buttons. And your light moves are very much the combo moves, and there is a bit of that depending on who you play as. Some characters definitely feel like they're slapping wet paper with their light attacks, but some characters feel quite good to play. Cat Dog is probably my favourite character in the game, the ones I've played, and I feel like he's quite a good combo character. His moves work quite well, and he actually feels like he could be in Smash. The way that character plays, I actually really enjoyed playing as well. I was like, oh wait, actually this guy's got a good move. I like him. I like Ren and Stimpy. I like Garfield. I think Garfield's very good in the game. And then I've played people like Invader Zim, who I literally couldn't get on with that well. But he has some good moves, just maybe not for me. But then like for someone like Helga, I thought was really good. I think Helga's got a really good neutral aerial move, which is just great for comboing and stuff. So I first off, I really enjoyed the fact that there's variety to the characters. But the game definitely handles way better than I expected it to do. So after all this time and finally playing it, this game surprised me a lot. Now I can't speak to what the state the game came out. I know that the voice packs got added in. I know that characters got added in. There's obviously DLC. I don't know if the game felt different to play originally. All I know is that the game that I'm playing right now on the Nintendo Switch feels good to play for the most part. I know it depends on the characters, but the characters that I played and liked, which is a good 4 or 5 of them so far, genuinely felt fun to play. And that shocked me. Straight off the bat, that shocked me. I was like, oh, this does not feel how I imagined it would. I thought it was going to be kind of like Brawl Out. There's a game on Switch called Brawl Out, which is a platform fighter, and that game doesn't feel good to play, unfortunately. There's very little weight behind the attacks. Yeah, it's just an odd one. And this, to be fair, I've only really played against lower AI, just going through the arcade mode that's there and just getting a feel for some of these characters. So, maybe it doesn't feel as good against a human player. I can't speak to that. But the actual game itself definitely surprised me. How it feels, how it looks. It is quite quick, but it isn't overly chaotic or anything. And for every character that I've played, I've been like, okay, I see what they were going with this game. Not every character is made equal. Like I said, I think Zim I don't enjoy playing him. Versus someone like Powdered Toast Man or like Nigel Thornberry. It's like they're genuinely fun. Ren and Stimpy, Garfield, Cat Dog. You know. So to me, for the most part, the characters I have played, I've enjoyed. But so you know, like overall, the game experience and the gameplay is better than I expected it to be. It is more like Smash Brothers than I expected. And it feels more like Smash than even Multiversus does. There are things that I don't like. There's like no back aerial attacks. There's extra controls, like you can like strafe if you want to like walk one way and still attack forward, which is cool. It's not how I play. There's a block button. I very rarely use it in it. But I do like the fact that you can do like you basically have neutral, up and down. That's how it works. You have a neutral attack, an up and down variant, and then same with the heavies. You have a neutral heavy and an up and down variant, and then you have 3 specials. So you have on the ground. You have 9 moves, essentially. In the air, you have variations of those moves. Some are the same, some are different. But you then have another 9 moves in the air. So you have plenty of choice when it comes to weapons. I think it's like... I can't remember, it's like... low attack beats medium, medium beats high, high beats low, or something like that. I can't remember the exact order, but they kind of have that rock, paper, scissors thing going on. Which is fine. So... when it comes to like the character roster and stuff, I think the character roster is actually pretty good. I think there's a lot of characters taken from a lot of those shows. There's stuff in there that I don't know. I didn't know Danny Phantom. I didn't, you know, I've never seen SpongeBob. There's you know, I knew the characters, and you know, those characters don't really appeal to me. But people like Ren and Stimpy and Cat Dog and obviously Garfield and stuff like that, Teenage Mutant Ninja Heroes, like that was. You know, that spoke to me. Those are the characters I'm going to gravitate towards. And I think that's good that there's a variance in this game for people of new and young ages. So overall, I think the character roster itself is actually really good. I definitely wouldn't have any issues with the character roster because of the type of game that it is. You know, it's not going to be on Smash levels, but as a crossover game, I think it is actually pretty decent for what they're trying to convey. Here you go. Here's a bunch of cartoon characters in this fighting game, and a platform fighter is the perfect mix for that. So that side of things, great. As for the levels are a bit of a mixed bag, if I'm honest, but unfortunately it's just sometimes how it is. Even Smash has good and bad levels. For the most part, I like them. They are varying sizes. There's only one, I think it's the Ren and Stimpy one, where you're in space where there is no solid ground. You're basically on these like platforms that are constantly falling down. It reminds me very much of poker floats or Orbital Assault Gate in Smash Ultimate. It's just a very difficult stage to fight on, and that's probably the worst one in the entire game. The rest of them are fine. They're either quite small, very like Battlefield Final Destination style levels. Well, I actually quite like the breakfast one. Breakfast one's pretty fun. But generally speaking, like, you know, the levels are fine. They don't do anything too crazy. There's not really that many hazards. Most of the hazards come in this falling down into the water. I really like the Cat Dog stage, actually. It's a really weird stage, but I really like it. And the music. Some of the music in the game has actually surprised me, like how much I like. The Cat Dog music's fantastic. The Hey Arnold or Helga stage on the bus is also like fairly decent. The worst one is the Ferris wheel level. Oh, God. What were they thinking with that? That is terrible. But overall, right, I think I'm actually quite positive on this game. And I think the reason for that is it has surprised me how well it plays. This is not a game I would buy at full price. At the push, I would say £30 is about as much as I would pay for this. The DLC is pretty cheap as well. And now when you buy it, you get a bunch. You get the voiceovers now, you got items, all this other stuff, right? It's cool, right? I was never expecting this game to have the same level as like Smash, but this is definitely a game you buy for between £20 and £30, or if it's on a big discount, pick it up. Like, it's actually decent. You will find there's kind of a lack of modes. There's like battle modes. There's like 3 different types of battle. I think it's like stock, time, and sports. There might be stock something else in sports, which I haven't properly played. I've mainly played arcade, and then you can go online. Like, it has enough there to keep you interested for a while. But if you've got somebody you can play this with, I think you'll have a blast, especially if you like know a lot of these characters. I think this is a really fun alternative. Now, is it going to replace Super Smash Bros? For me, of course not. I'm a massively biased to Smash. But we are living in a time now where we have Super Smash Bros, we have this, and we have Multiversus, And it's really nice to see these games getting a lot of love and more games coming out that are like platform fighters. There are obviously other games. There's things like Brawlout, like I said, but I didn't like that very much. There's Brawlhalla, which is another game that I've played, but I found a little bit too floaty. There's also Rivals at Aether, which I've not played. But we are at a point now where we have a lot more of these bigger platform fighters, and this is good. This is healthy. This is what we want. I really want, you know, I hope that Nickelodeon All Star get a few more characters in there before they pack that in, because that game is genuinely good. Like, I think it's unfair to say that game, it's a cheap knockoff. It's not. It's actually a good game. It's like a 7 out of 10, right? If you want to put a score on it, it's a 7 out of 10 kind of game. And since all the tweaks, it's really helped improve the game there. Like, I think the game handles really, really well. You know, and so pick it up. I've discussed a little bit with Egregious, and he doesn't like the game. He thinks the game doesn't handle very well and things like that. And it's really interesting because with the controls, I'm playing on the Switch. If you change the controls so that your jump button is X and your standard attack is A, it feels much better to play than the normal controls. Because what they want you to use, A is your strong attack is by default, and the B button on the Switch is your normal attack. Well, I switched those around, pardon the pun, and I had an absolute blast playing it. It plays a lot more like Smash, because that's how I play the game. And I think the game is genuinely controls good. I would love to like talk to him more about it, because I almost feel like we're playing two very different games. I think this game does handle well. I think this game does play well. It's not perfect by any means, and if you're like me and you're used to Smash Brothers, there are things you're going to miss about that. But this game at a decent price, honestly, is not a bad game. It's a good gem, and I am genuinely surprised and shocked at how much I'm enjoying it. I just like to sit down every night and maybe play a couple of arcade runs. When I get a chance to, I'll probably play with some human players, maybe report back. But when it comes to platform fighters, it's really important that the game feels good to play. And what I mean by that is that you feel like you're in control of your character, because these games are quite fast paced, and you want to be able to maneuver and use your aerial attacks and use your grounded attacks and dodge back and forth and not feel too much issue with it. And like, you know, I enjoy multiverses as well. I've had control issues with multiverses, so I actually think Nick All Star Brawl handles better than multiverses. But that might be a me problem, you know? That might be something that's an issue with me. But honestly, this game, go pick it up. It's definitely worth a discounted price. If you can get it for like 20 quid, 30 quid, you've got yourself a solid purchase there, so worth doing. But yeah, you know, all in all, I was surprised with it. It's definitely a game I will pull out from time to time, and I'll have a blast with it. Like, I'll probably grab the DLC because it's not that expensive, and just support these guys. I think they have done a good job of a game here. Like, this is like, oh, I fancy something a bit different to Smash. I'm gonna play a bit of Nick All Star, you know. And like I said, it went on sale super cheap, so it's good. But definitely mess around with your controls. If you can change the controls to like suit you, you will generally have fun with it. So, despite maybe the lack of a little bit of content here and there, and a lack of a little bit of polish, overall the game plays decently, and it's fun, and that's what, most importantly, what matters. So, thank you very much for watching this video. As always, if you liked the video, hit like. If you want to see more content, hit subscribe. Probably gonna do some videos on platform fighters as a whole. I have a lot of things to say on it, but this video was mainly just about All Star Brawl, because it's important that I get that out of the way before I do that. If you want, the links for Facebook and Twitter will be in the description down below, as always. And until next video, I will see you then.